What does it mean to be able to control your mind? Controlling your mind means being able to control your thoughts. And if you can control your thoughts, that means you can control everything you do on a daily basis, like every action you do. This is because everything starts out as a thought in your mind. Like say everyone in general, absolutely everything starts out as a thought. And then those thoughts then transfer into the imagination, which is you vividly imagining those thoughts in your mind. And then that imagination then goes from there, turns into an emotion that you feel in your body. And then that emotion you feel in your body causes you to act off of that emotion, meaning your actions always start off in the mind. It all starts out in the mind. So what are the benefits of controlling your mind? There are literally so many benefits of being able to control your mind. And I'll name the biggest one last. And I'm going to lay them all down to you now. So the first one is mental clarity and focus, which is the ability to focus on the present moment and eliminate distractions and irrelevant thoughts, making you more productive as you have more mental energy to focus on important tasks to get them done easier. For example, when I want to script videos and thoughts come up distracting my focus, I'm able to instantly brush those thoughts away without feeling like I have to think about those thoughts or dwell on those thoughts. And then I can instantly focus back onto the task in a total of like 2 or 3 seconds or so. Benefit number 2 is better emotional control. And this is because it enables you to switch emotions instantly by giving you the ability to choose any emotions you want and instantly turn it on. Because it enables you to become the observer of your life, meaning the emotions aren't happening to you, they're happening to your body, and you are just watching that, which then gives you the ability to turn off that emotion and bring in a new one, which this then gives you a big feeling of inner peace. And I've always loved watching Kung Fu Panda growing up, and I still do now, to be honest, and how they always talk about inner peace. And now I've figured out how to do it. And another reason why it's good for emotional control is because you can then also regulate negative emotions more easily, like anxiety, fear, and anger, and replace them with more positive ones that can help you in whatever situation you're in, which then helps you to not react impulsively with emotional outbursts, making you not do what you should be doing, you know? For example, if someone says something negative to me, that drives an emotion in me, I don't just instantly get defensive and say something negative back to them. What I do is I turn on the observer role, see the emotion built up in me, and then instantly switch that off and replace it with a more calm emotion, or just the feeling of calmness, and then respond logically in a more calmer state, or just ignore the situation completely if I want. It gives you that ability. Benefit number 3 is reduce stress and anxiety, and that's basically due to what I've just mentioned, observing the stressful feeling and anxiety, removing those thoughts from my mind that are causing those feelings, and with the help from like a few breaths or so, I go back to a normal calm state, which that then leads to a greater amount of mental resilience as well when dealing with setbacks in life or things might otherwise bring you down, you know. You become more mentally resilient. Benefit number 4 is increased self-awareness, because again, it's being able to step back, observe the thoughts and emotions that you're experiencing. That then helps you become more self-aware of how you think about certain things and how you react emotionally to those things as well, which that can then help you remove any negative habits that you do on a daily basis, which you may otherwise not have realised you do. For example, I got over my fear of dogs with the power of my mind, because I initially would react off of impulse to dogs running up to me, which was due to a negative experience with dogs when I was younger, which made me have the fear of dogs. And I got rid of the fear by being the observer, becoming the observer, seeing the emotional impulse build up in me, instantly switch that off, and then tell myself that I love dogs, and then I'll be fine. However, if I don't do this regularly, then after a while of not doing it, and I see a dog running up to me, the fear response kicks in unless I remember that I can switch it off. Which then, if I do remember and I do the observer, all of that stuff, everything becomes fine again. Benefit number 5 is you have better decision making. This is because you're now acting based off of logic and clear intentional thinking rather than off of impulse or emotions. This is because your decision making becomes faster by quieting the noise in your mind and focusing on what really matters, which that then leads to a better ability to follow through on your decisions, which leads to better results and consistency. For example, when I plan the day ahead the night before, I'm able to then do all the tasks I said I was going to do that day with full focus. Benefit number 6 is it makes it easier to overcome procrastination. This is because it enables you to take immediate action by again becoming the observer, removing thoughts convincing you otherwise, and then just moving your body to do the thing you need to do without the resistance that would come from thoughts that would convince you otherwise. For example, when I get out of bed every morning, I switch my mind off, move my body to get out of bed, then only think about making my bed. So that's the only thing that's in my mind that I'm focused on, is making my bed, which take like a few seconds or so. And then the next thing I know is I'm up and I'm ready for the day. I haven't slept in or lied in or anything. Another example of how controlling your mind can overcome procrastination, from my experience, is like getting into like swimming pools or the sea. Instead of procrastinating from getting in because it's too cold or you don't like the feeling of the coldness, what I do is I switch my mind off again, observe the feeling of the coldness as I'm coming in, kind of ignore it, and then just get straight in, and then you just feel fine as you're in then, as you know. Benefit number 7 is increased motivation. This is because, again, observer all of this, because you get the ability to instantly switch on motivation whenever you need it, with the help of implanting thoughts in your mind of the reasons why you need to do the things you need to do, which then gives you the energy to do those things, which that then means you need less discipline to do the things you need to do. Benefit number 8 is better creativity. This is because it gives you the ability to clear your mind of like clutter and all the random thoughts popping into your mind, which then you can make space for fresh ideas to pop into your mind, making you more creative. And the fewer distractions in your mind makes it easier to enter a flow state, which enhances your creative output. Benefit number 9 is better sleep and relaxation. This is because it gives you the ability to quiet your mind before sleep when lying in bed, such as stopping overthinking while you're lying in bed, causing you to stay awake for ages, which that then leads to a better recovery as the quality of your sleep is increased, which for example increases your gains in the gym. And also a calm and focused mind throughout the day leads to better energy levels and better relaxation at night as well, where otherwise your energy would have been sapped and drained from you by dwelling on negative thoughts all day. Benefit number 10 is improved relationships. And you get this from 2 things. One, from better communication, because you're able to regulate your emotions and think before you act and speak, again, observerable, which removes any negative arguments spiraling out of control and becoming really angry and hateful towards each other, And number 2 is you gain unshakable presence by being in the present moment and being fully present with whoever you're talking to, making them feel more heard, I guess, and making you more likeable and easier to talk to, which overall improves both sides of the relationship, whether that be your friend or your missus or anyone really. Benefit 11 is increased confidence. And you gain an increasing confidence because you're more confident in yourself and your abilities, knowing you have control over your thoughts and your emotions, which that then enables you to choose how you react and respond in any situation. The confidence basically comes from being more self-aware of yourself, and also the kind of unshakable presence that you have in your daily life kind of seems like you have more confidence, which then gives you benefits in a lot of things, So benefit number 12 is kind of more discipline. It's a weird one because it kind of increases your discipline, but not in the way that you'd think. Because what controlling your mind gives you is the ability to remove the things in your mind that would kind of make what you need to do hard, if that makes sense. Which would then mean you need discipline to do the thing you need to do. And because you can control your mind, you can remove that thought that is causing the thing to be hard, which then makes that thing easier to do. For example, again, getting out of bed in the morning, you get those thoughts in your mind of how comfy the bed is and how it's so much easier and nicer to stay in bed, and then you get more thoughts that you need to do a lot that day, which then overwhelms you, and then you end up lying in your bed for ages. However, with the ability to control your mind, you instantly switch off those thoughts as soon as they come up, kind of turn your brain off, and then get out of bed with ease. Which, things like that kind of seem like you're more disciplined and consistent doing those things, but it's actually because they become really easy to you. Benefit number 13 is improved health and well-being. And this comes from lower stress levels, leading to lower cortisol, which then leads to better health overall. And also, you have better immune function because you have lower stress levels and increased positive emotional states as well. That leads to the better immune function. And also, the mental clarity and focus you get leads to better lifestyle choices, such as your diet and how you exercise, which all leads to better health. Benefit number 14 is more productivity. And I kind of went over this, but the main reason you get more productive is because you can deeply focus on the task at hand, remove any thoughts distracting you in seconds, and you can get into a flow state when you're doing your work much quicker, which also means you have better time management as well, because you're not wasting your time on things that don't align with your goals. You got like tunnel vision focus. And lastly, benefit number 15, which is the best benefit in my opinion that I've experienced, is the ability to kind of control your own reality and the freedom you feel every day with the ability to do so. And you feel this freedom because you can live life freely without having to constantly battle with your inner thoughts and emotions. You can feel at peace with yourself every second of the day if you want, no matter what happens no matter what happens externally. And because you can pursue your goals and dreams without the weight of negative mental chatter holding you back. And you can control your own reality because you now have the mental capacity to recognize when you're holding yourself back and change your mental state to move forward. And because you now understand that your thoughts shape your reality, you can actively create the life that you want, which then that means you can control your own reality. So how does all that sound? Speaking from my experience, it feels class, to be honest. So how do you control your mind? Controlling your mind, as I've mentioned already, is about becoming the observer of your thoughts and emotions. And the best way to be able to do this, there's many ways you could do this, but the best way is by meditating. And to meditate, you first set a timer for 10 minutes on your phone. Focus completely on your breathing. And if it helps, count 4 seconds in through your nose. And then out for 5 seconds. Don't overcomplicate it, just do it through your nose, I'll be fine. What you want to do is fully focus on the air going up your nostrils and back out. And just keep doing this for the time being. And at some point, you'll get distracted by your thoughts. Something will pop up into your mind, and then you'll get distracted and your focus will wander off somewhere else. And then you'll realise that you got distracted at some point, and from that point, you need to put your attention and focus back onto the breath, back onto breathing in through your nose, in through your nose, out through your nose as well. And repeat this process until the timer goes off. An important thing as well that everyone messes up is because they get frustrated when they get distracted by their thoughts. And they get agitated when trying to focus back on the breath, which kind of messes it all up for them. But what they have to realise is getting distracted is part of the whole thing. It's part of the process in the beginning. And the main part of this is being able to redirect your focus and attention back onto the breath. And what this is all doing for you is laying the groundwork for becoming the observer and improving your focus. And what you must do from here is, like, after say a week or two, after your focus has improved and you kind of done meditating a bit, you need to start to watch your thoughts come up like clouds in the sky and let them pass without judgment or attaching to the thoughts. Just watch it pass like clouds in the sky. Just like as you're meditating, the thought will come up, imagine it floating away and disappearing. And then the rest for you becomes easy. And I will teach you how to do all of this, how to control your mind, thoughts and emotions, with some other methods as well to speed up the process and personalise it to your life. And if this sounds interesting, go to the top link in my description where I'll take you to my community where I'll teach all of this. But But first, make sure to watch the About page on that section before you join as well.